It's time to go back overseas. Let's go to Slovakia. Hey guys, welcome back to another awesome ration. Like I said, we are heading back overseas doing some international stuff. We have a ration here from Slovakia. Essentially, this says emergency food ration, open here, the kind of ration it is, and these are all the ingredients. And of course, this is a type 3 or menu 3. Let's bust this thing open, see what we got inside. I'm going to use one of my favorites, Cold Steel Mini Tough Light. Preferred knife for bar fights, hands down. Now I did steal a little look. I watched one of Steve's videos. He's got, I think it's a type 2 or a type 1. So the way how these are designed are quite ingenious and pretty nifty. Right off the bat, we have some Crispbreads. 3 packs of those, and they are different kinds. These effervescent tablets, such an interesting way to get these multivitamins. Pretty cool. This is like a pasta, this is like, or smoked meat paste, something like that, so probably like a pate. Nice, it's got ring pulls. Can't get anything else out. Oh, well. Shaking this is like our accessory packet. Take a look at that in a second. Get some vitamin C tablets. Since it's like a vegetable soup. I can tell what that is right out. There's some kind of goulash in there, which is like a stew kind of thing. And like a meat with beans. And then we got some, these are corn, like light wheat, like kind of like white bread, and like wheat bread. That's everything out of the bag. Last thing I pulled out, there were some instructions tell you how to use your accessory packet or your stove. Now our accessory can or components comes in this nice little tin, and this also serves as part of your stove. You can definitely smell some fuel tabs in here. Try to get all of this out of here. What the heck? Came pre-rusty. They don't waste no time in Slovakia. So we'll plop that there. Of course, right here is fuel tablets. They will go in there like that. Your stove can either bend down or up depending on what you want. That's just to keep your stuff from falling in. Pretty cool. And again, matches. We'll figure out what this is for. Interesting. And looks like we got some water purification tablets and a 1 liter bag to help you purify some water. And then of course this, it doesn't just serve as a can opener, it also serves as like a can holder. And just as a treat, seeing how I got my grill all cleaned up for summer and barbecue, we'll actually use the stove on our first can. Well, let's get stuff heated up, drinks made, and let's get some stuff onto the tray. And now I actually use this, I realized how to set up the stove the correct way. So we'll definitely do that. And we'll make our multivitamin drink. And this is actually a tea. Each one of them calls for 200 ml of water. And the nice thing about it, it's not just like one. One tablet is good enough for one of these drinks. So you've got tons to drink. And you can look in there, you see the tablets, but it's got this nice thing to keep them from rattling around and getting busted up. That's a nice tip. And they'll just do its thing. See that bubbling up? Pretty, like an Alka-Seltzer. And now the tea. Oh, that was just kind of dissolving. Pretty neat. And I have no clue how to eat these, so I guess what I'm going to do, I'll just go right down in order. We'll start off with the PU. No pun intended. And we'll use these crispy light wheat biscuits. I thought this was open for a second. Jeez. You always think you got it open and it's... Man, it's like magic. And if you never had these before, they have like the consistency of like styrofoam. Very airy. All kinds of nooks and crannies. Man, I got stuff everywhere. So for breakfast, kind of simple. You just got like this can of pate. It's pork, chicken, all kinds of stuff inside of it. Look at that. Smells okay, so I got no complaints there. From what I understand, they use their own silverware, their own mess kit, so they've got all that, so it doesn't come with disposable cutlery. Grab onto this. Oh, look at that color. Look at all that stuff on there. We'll grab one of these Crispbreads. We'll grab a whole one this time. The other one broke. And we'll give that a nice little smear. There you go. Bon appetit. Crispbreads are a little stale, just a wee bit stale. However, this pate, it almost kind of has like a smoked paprika kind of in there, which is kind of nice. Very smooth, very silky. Oh, it's really kind of hard to describe. It doesn't have like ingredients, so I can't tell you exactly what's inside of this, but just from watching one of Delicious's old reviews from several years ago, he said it's like a combination of like pork and poultry. And I'm kind of led to believe it's probably that. It doesn't taste irony, so I don't believe there's any kind of liver or anything like that inside of it. Go over to our multivitamin drink. I'm looking in here, I'm looking at the bottom. It looks like it is completely 100% dissolved. Still got a little bubble action from the effervescent tablet. Has kind of an orangey flavor. The effervescent stuff does give you that little bit of like fizzy kind of carbonation that you would expect with a drink. So it's not light or anything like that. That's actually kind of pleasant. I'm actually casually surprised. And then we've got the tea as well. That is really cleared up. Actually looks like legit tea. That's really nice too. Wow. I'm kind of a fan of that. Well, like we said, really simple breakfast. Let's bust into lunch. Now, lunch comes with two cans. It comes with a main and like a soup. I don't know how we're going to do that. I'll probably put the soup over here and I'll just leave it inside of the can. And we'll use some of these darker wheat Crispbreads. They're really weird how they got these wrappers because you think they're open, but they're not open. But man, it's just, I don't know. I guess it's the way, just how they were packaged. Because you try to grab onto them, they're like really weird to hold onto. See, look at that. But it's not open. And in case if you didn't already notice, there's 35 grams of those. And all of these Crispbreads are all 35 grams. And this can label with this PZ, it's really kind of hard to say. This is considered the soup. It's got some kind of meat in here, and it's got green beans. We'll try to open this up without cutting ourselves. Grab this really quick. And you can see it is kind of soupy, so that's, well, it's definitely soupy. So there we go. We'll give that a little mix. It is nice and toasty. It's not as hot as the other can, that's for definitely sure. And this one is the Goulash. Hopefully we can do this without burning ourselves up. The bottom of the cans are super, super toasty. Alright, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Please don't break. And all this says is cauldron goulash. It doesn't say anything else. Right off the bat, I can definitely see some potatoes. You see some chunks of, looks like beef in there. Well, let's give this a try. Let's take a look at this. Grab a little bit of everything. Put it right on you. You can see, definitely oily. So these things are going to coat your mouth with a nice film of oil. It's nice and salty. It's got that nice salt. It's got like a slight tomato kind of taste to it too. The potatoes, they're very, very tender. The meat is so soft, so succulent. Wow, succulent, that's a Steve word. Wow. It's been rubbing off me. We've been watching his vids lately. The meat just kind of melts in your mouth, man. It's just really spot on. It tastes so good. If you've ever had this kind of cuisine, you either love it or you hate it. And I happen to be one of the people that absolutely really enjoy the Central European cuisine. And considering this is probably about some of the lowest quality that you could possibly get. I mean, it's not like they spend $1 million on military rations. Well, let's try this soup. Looks like it might be poultry based. Definitely got some peas in here. A little bit of creamy bits. We'll give that a try. Take a look at those peas. A little on the bland side. The peas definitely steal the show. Looks like we got a little bit of potato in here too. Trying to find some meat, little bits. Not really finding the meat. You think you found like a meatball or something, but it looks like it's just oh, what was that down there? A little bit of carrot. Like I said, a little bit of potato. It's not bad. I enjoy this too. It's not like really salty. Well, in fact, it's not really salty at all. It's kind of bland. Try that with a little bit of texture because all this has a consistency of baby food. So if you had no teeth, you'd be able to scarf this down, no problems. But let's try it with a little bit of crunch factor, and hopefully these aren't as stale as the other ones. Which they are, that's a total bummer. I guess if you had this and you really wanted to kind of soup it up, you get some onion powder or some garlic powder and toss it in there. And in fact, I'm going to give that a try. And it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. I'm going to get that a nice little mix in there really quick. Again, you can see there's little carrot bits down here, a little bit of potato. We'll give that a try. I'm guaranteeing you this is going to completely overhaul the flavor profile of this soup. It does too. Now you get that nice little hint of garlic in there. And you can even try a little bit of nice ground sea salt. And if you like a little bit of heat, maybe some ground red pepper. Like I said, it is what you want. These are your rations. It's your food. If you pack out extra spices with you, the only thing that you're going to do is like your food more. And you're going to be harassed by other soldiers and buddies wanting to borrow your spices to make their stuff taste better too. Oh, that little bit of heat makes this thing a winner. Man, that's good. And just so I can say that I did it, I'll grab a little bit of this. Grab a little one of these poor, sad, stale, used up Crispbreads. And we'll give that a go. And this is a really good meal to have your tea with. Make yourself another glass of tea. That little bit of effervescence, that little bit of bubblage in here just really sets this thing apart. It's kind of like having almost like a 7-Up without that lemon and lime taste, but you get that same kind of punch. Man, good stuff. Wish I could share this all. Oh, look at that big old just hunk of meat. That is going to be good. And I'm going down there right now. And this was lunch. Let's tackle dinner. Just want to point out something really quick. If you want more than 200 ml of drink, all you got to do is just add another tablet. Like, I got tired of having these little glasses, so right here is 6. 3 tablets. Happy, happy, happy. So now we're busting into dinner. I got these little corn ones. These look like they've been a little bashed up, so I'm expecting a lot of crumbage. Hopefully these will be a little nicer to open up, or easier to open up. They smell good. Smell just like a hint of corn. Not a whole lot of corn. All of these do have corn little bits in them. And the dinner can is very simple. It just says beans, meat with potatoes. That is all we've got. That's all we're going to get. Looks kind of like white beans, kind of like navy beans. So I'll carefully upend this without toasting myself. Ooh, man. Man, did I make a mess out of that? Look at all this. Jeez, man. Well, expect nothing less. Definitely some kind of beef. White beans. You see the potatoes. This is definitely a high carb thing that would help you keep warm throughout the night. I could see why they chose this one for dinner, or at least listed it last on the bag. Let's take it like that. Wow, that has a very nice flavor. If you've ever had like navy bean soup, man, that really reminds me of that. It's a little salty. This is really good. It really doesn't need any other seasoning, unlike that soup that we had for lunch. And like I said, I know this stuff is not gourmet dining by any means. I guess they call it like peasant food, but man, sometimes simple is better. Wow, one thing that really surprised me, though, even though this beef was probably stewed in here, it's a little more chewy, has a little more bite. It just doesn't kind of melt in your mouth like we did with the goulash. I'm really impressed by this stuff. Kind of break it up, kind of see the inside of it. Oh, there we go. You see, it's definitely a little processed in there, but you know, it's more like a meatball instead of a actual slab that came off of the hide of a cow. Let's put some of this on here. Let's just try it, see how it is. I know it's going to be stale. Actually, it is a little stale, but these are a lot crispier than the other two that we've had today so far. We'll gander at that. As soon as you put the sliced amount of liquid in there, it just kind of just gets sucked up into those little nooks and crannies. And instead of it becoming crispy, it gets more like a kind of like a gooey, kind of chewy texture. That was really interesting. I mean, it really gets in there and sticks to your teeth. We'll try a little more of our tea. Well, I don't know what people are talking about. This kind of fare, this kind of food just really strikes a chord with me. I must have been like Russian or Slavic or something like that in a former life. Really, really cool. Hands down, the goulash was the best tasting thing of the entire meal, but this is nothing to shake your head at. Well, everybody, this was a Slovakian 24-hour ration, type 3 emergency food ration. Really tasty, has some great components. This stuff is probably some of the smartest I've ever seen in a ration. It's simple, no muss, no fuss, and definitely the mains are a winner. And when you add some special seasonings to your soup, spot on. Well, thanks again, Roger, for hooking me up with this, man. I super appreciate it, buddy. Keep that things rolling in, and I will see you all on an upcoming review. Bye.